Kemoy, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, listen, man, I'm incredible. How you feeling?
I've got my little eggnog. I very rarely do I get to get any of that, so I'm just so fortunate to just have a few minutes downtime, brother.
Okay, tis the season.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving and holidays to you.
Yes, yes, yes. Same to you, bro.
I don't know if you do that stuff. I know some people don't do holiday. They don't do Christmas. I don't know. Everybody's different.
Yeah. Well, I'm Jamaican, and sometimes Jamaicans do, sometimes Jamaicans don't. Jamaicans are interesting.
Well, thanks for joining us, man, in my Black Friday block party. Where are you in the world?
So I am in this amazing country. It's a country that I spent a lot of time in, and it's the country of Baltimore.
Oh shit. What now? What makes you? Why are you saying that it's another country?
Oh, man, I mean Baltimore is almost a different world.
I've been there a few times, and every time I go, I learn something new. I see something that I've never even thought knew existed.
Yeah.
Real
Now,
estate there is weird.
Baltimore's cool. Yeah, I lived here for like 17 years.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So you guys know my round up homies. Thanks for joining us today. I've been traveling, been able to travel the country, the world, and meet just some amazing people. And Kemoy, I bumped into him when I was in where were we?
We were in
Vegas,
Atlanta. Was it Atlanta or
Vegas,
Vegas? Okay, yeah, Vegas.
Las Vegas. Man was doing his thing, and I've seen him on the internet do some amazing things. And I actually met, but was able to make his acquaintance personally. And I asked him if he would come on and give my roundup homies a little taste of what he does and give us some crazy for the Black Friday. So Kemoy, thanks for coming on, bro.
Yes, sir, man. It's my pleasure. I'm excited about giving value, especially that I know that this type of information, what it can do for people, because I know what it's done for me and I know what it's done to, students and friends of mine, for sure.
That's cool. So give us a background of who you are a little bit. And well, I know you've been doing business for quite a while. Just give my roundup homies a little bit where you are and just about who you are.
Yeah, man. Born and raised, right? Went to Baltimore to go to Morgan State University, a
Okay.
college out there. And after graduating with a degree in biology, I found out really quick that after I finally did get a job, I was working at Department of Social Services as a caseworker. I just realized I didn't like working for people. Nothing wrong with working a job, it just I didn't go to school for that, right? And so I wasn't fulfilled, and the pay just wasn't what I dreamed of. Especially like when you go to school, right? Like, man, I'm gonna go to school for all these years, and when I graduate, I'm gonna make this dream salary and have this picket fence and this big family, right? But it's
Oh
like
no.
the salary was just not what I thought it was. I was drowning in student loan debt, and then I just knew that I need to become an entrepreneur, and got into wholesale real estate right back in 2013. That was kind of like my introduction to real estate. Made some great income there, and as years progressed, I stumbled upon this whole short term rental concept, right?
Okay.
Most popularly known as Airbnb, right? That's just pretty much Airbnb is a popular platform that's used within the short term rental space. But what
Sounds more sexy. To me, it sounds more sexy than short-term rentals. Short-term rentals sounds like I'm riding a bus.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but when I discovered it, I thought it was cool. But then what even made it even more cool is the fact that I could do this business without owning property.
Yes.
And
That's
I,
what we want to hear about.
and that's the amazing thing about real estate, right? Because there's so many different ways to kind of go about it. There's so many different niches, but really, the fact that you can do it without owning a property, this was like, wholesaling. You didn't have to buy the property. That's what was cool about wholesaling, right? You can like flip contracts essentially, right? But it
Yeah,
was
but it's over though. You got one boom done and it's over.
right, right. And with the whole short-term rental thing, it's kind of like I can do without owning property, but I can create cash flow, and then
Yes.
I can make it passive, right?
Oh
Because
Lord.
I love to travel. I've been to about 59 countries to this day, and I travel literally full time. So like I need my income to be passive, and I built a cool system, and I teach people how to create systems around the business so that way they can create passive income. But once you really got it dialed in, man, and you understand the whole concept of doing this without owning property, it's just the amount of freedom and flexibility and cash flow that you can create. It's really sexy. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm glad, man. I'm glad, happy for you, and just to get the message out, because I just feel like everybody's teaching wholesaling, right? And I'm not mad at anybody that wants to do it and teach it and all that.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I just feel like it's so much more. And I wish back in '04 I would have not limited. I thought wholesaling was like the end of the day. I'm like, okay, I just wholesale till I die, right? I
Yeah,
thought that's what I was going to do.
same.
And I look back, I'm like, Chris, you just a dummy. You you left how many millions of dollars on the table for other people? I can tell how many millions of dollars did I leave? Think
I
about
think
it, right?
anybody that wholesale, I feel like they experience that, especially in the beginning, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, because you look back, you're like, man, I should have kept that one, or I should have done that, I should have done this. But it does, in my opinion, teach you how to make money without money, and it's a stepping stone to the next thing.
Yep, 100%, hundred
So
percent.
tell us about this thing, man. You got slides, or how you want to do this, man? I want to you just take
Um,
value, just hit the button. We're good.
yeah, let me know. I could definitely share some information with y'all.
Get your
If you give
questions
me
in the chat. Round up. We're talking about short-term rentals. I'm here with my boy Kemoy Martin. Kemoy Martin, showing us how he did it. He just told you he started just like I did in wholesaling, like most majority of people start wholesaling, and then they kind of find out, hey, this is just one thing. Now with the sharing economy, you can make money without even buying a house passively. It's just amazing to me. So go to the bottom, hit present or view share screen, and boom, then I bring you in and it's over.
Yep, I see it. I see it. I see it.
Vince, one of my members. What up, homie? It's my inner circle member too. Good to see you, Truck.
Can
You
you
ready
see
for me
it?
to bring it in?
Stop sharing. Yes. Can it be seen? No.
You can't see you, but we can see you.
Okay.
You can't see you, but
Yeah.
we can see you.
Okay. That's interesting.
How you like that? You gotta have two screens for that to work.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. Let me know. I could start whenever you're ready, brother.
I see it. Yep. How to quickly build six figures. We're ready.
All right, cool. So listen, guys. I've been a full time entrepreneur for 2013, and maybe some of you guys are like me, and you've like done a million and one different things. Like that was me. Like I just did a
Tell
lot.
us some of the stuff you did. Come on before you got here.
So wholesaling real estate. I was flipping products from Asia on Craigslist. Like
Like hair or toys?
so, Insanity, P90X, Rosetta Stone. What else was I doing?
Wow.
Selling cars. Oh yeah, I was going to the auction and flipping cars on Craigslist for sure. Craigslist was the spot back in the
That's
day.
rough, man. This car business is challenging.
In college, I was killing it. What else? What else? What else? A lot, so much, man. Just I used to sell meat door to door.
Okay, with the truck, you got the truck driving around?
Yeah, I had a
Oh.
fraternity brother had a meat company, so I was working with that. I also did network marketing, was heavily in network marketing for 6 years.
I love network marketing. It turns you into an amazing speaker.
Man, let me tell you something. One of the most biggest personal development just
Yes.
factories and just environments,
That's
period.
right. That's right.
Yeah, did that for about 6 years. Then just a lot, right? And then what I say it to say is when I came across this Airbnb thing, it was pretty cool, right? But as I really started building this thing, I got to be honest with you. Out of all the different businesses that I've built, this short-term rental thing has probably been one of the most simple ways of creating substantial cash flow with a very little amount of effort and capital, right? And that's why I love it. And that's why I love teaching it, right? So I'm gonna teach you guys how to quickly build literally a six-figure plus short-term rental business without owning any property. And before this short class is over, you guys are gonna learn how to become, financially independent. I know for me, like I wanted financial independence because I was working at a job where I was making literally less than $30,000 a year at social services, and my student loan debt was about $100,000. So
Wow.
like I needed financial independence, and school didn't teach me this. So here's some things you guys are going to learn. You guys are going to learn how to find profitable properties for your short-term rental business for free. You guys are also going to learn how to get property owners to beg you to use their properties without having to purchase them. Because here's the deal, right? What are we talking about here? We're talking about how to do this business without owning property. And the way how we do that is we rent a property that's more so designed for a long-term tenant, right? So it'd be pretty similar to say somebody owns a house and landlord puts it on different platforms and they're looking for a tenant to sign 12-month lease. So we're going to rent that property out. Only difference is we're not going to live in it. we're gonna create terms, and we're also gonna communicate properly to a landlord and property manager what our intent is. So we're gonna rent the property out, then we're gonna pretty much furnish it, make it look good, and we're gonna put it on a platform like Airbnb. And there's others in which we're gonna talk about. For a lot of people, they feel like, oh, is that even like legal? Why would a landlord or property manager let you do that when they could do it themselves? And I'm going to pretty much debunk all that stuff. But all in all, what I want you to understand is there are landlords and property managers out here willing to let you rent their property out and like it. Matter of
I'm
fact,
one of them.
love
I
it.
got I let other guys rent my houses out. I'm like, just pay me $2,000 a month. I'm good.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Everybody is different. But the thing is, I'm going to teach you guys how to create a win-win situation for you and the property owner, right? While still making huge profits, which is what matters. And I'm going to teach you guys how to structure your short-term business in a way so you can start immediately with a job and without spending a lot of moolah. Okay. And from our people that rock with me until the end, I'm gonna give you guys a special gift, and that's why it's so important to finish. All right, finish. That's
Yes, sir.
entrepreneurship. You gotta finish the race. You gotta, don't get distracted. I'm telling you guys that what I'm gonna share with you guys can literally be a game changer. So you do not want to miss it. So I'm gonna incentivize you to watch the whole thing, and it's short, right? But I'm giving you guys my DITS cleaner checklist. What does that mean? Do it themselves cleaner checklist. So me personally, I do not clean any of my properties, and I get bookings every day, right? And the thing is, I have professional cleaners that clean these properties, and I give them a checklist so they know exactly what to do, right, in between every single reservation. And because of this, I've literally had like months go by. Matter of fact, I have properties I haven't seen over a year, but yet they're creating me cash flow because of my cleaners and because of this checklist. And I'm gonna give you this for free,
Wow. I
right?
love it.
So there's a lot of ways to make money, even in real estate, but just in general, what makes this different, right? Understand this. Everything I'm going to share with you guys, it all started from my own experience, like with real properties that I was able to profit off of that I do not own. See, anybody out here can tell you stuff they learned from a friend or, what they learned in school. And no, like this is real life stuff. And you don't have to have a mansion or like a penthouse to make a lot of money. Like this is working with pretty average and below average real estate, right? And it's also working outside of major cities and major attractions. So you don't have to be by South Beach or Times Square or by London Bridge, right? You don't have to be. Right? You don't have to be by Disney World. And what I'm going to share with you has been used to create wealth across a huge range of cities, states, and countries. So I have students all around the United States. I also have students in the Caribbean. I got students in Africa, right? I got a student in Ghana that just launched their amazing, short-term rental business. So it's like this is a
Wow.
global opportunity. And I've even used a strategy to convince long-time know-it-all landlords that I didn't know. And the thing is, I don't really consider it convincing. But the thing is, what I'm going to tell you guys is what we're doing works, and it's working really good.
It's so
Right?
ironic you say that because I'm like a traditional tenant, in my opinion, where you get security deposit, first month rent, all that stuff. In my opinion,
Yeah,
in my humble opinion, that to me is like I don't even do it. Like I don't even do that stuff. That's like the lowest way you can make money in real estate.
for
Kemoy,
sure.
what would you say to that?
You said, what would I say to that?
Yeah.
So it's true, right? Because the thing is, like, so I know sometimes landlords can be like really lazy, right? And they feel like they just want that one. Some landlords, not all, right? But some they just kind of want that
Amazing.
one check every single month, and they don't want to deal with anything else, right? Or maybe in their mind they feel like, oh, short-term rental sounds like a lot more work. There's turnover, or even like midterm rentals that sounds like more work. I just want the one check a month. Get it? But like number one, you can just make so much more cash flow going short-term rental or midterm rental, right? And also you get to see your property more, right?
Yeah.
So it's like less wear and tear. So yeah, for
It's
sure.
ironic when you do this. They think that, it's like people think that it's more wear and tear, when the ironic is like less wear. It's like complete opposite.
And I'm gonna talk about that too, right? Because it's like you understand we're in the business of creating 5-star experiences, right? So we get reviews. So we're incentivized to keep the property in top tier condition like the landlord is.
Yeah.
So
Cool. All
yeah.
right.
So something really important, man. Like a lot of real estate stuff that we've learned is like it's either dead wrong or it's outdated, right? Market saturation has made other tactics just quite competitive. Okay,
Flipping.
especially if you're like a new investor. Like
Right.
when I got into wholesale back in 2013, it is very different today. Again, not a bad. It's still a great opportunity, but I'm just saying the market is different. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
And just certain deals are just like almost non-existent. And again, like inventory is like, it's interesting, right? And we're kind of getting out of the place where sellers overpricing their home, but that was kind of like a huge thing over these past few months.
Yeah, that's done.
And the short-term rental business has like literally proved itself in uncertain times, and it will literally only get better. Because a lot of times people feel like, oh, this whole short-term rental thing, what happens if people don't travel anymore, if there's like a pandemic, or what happens? And it's like, I want you guys to think bigger. Like somebody in the comments say think bigger, because it's like, you got to understand, this business model has been around before Airbnb. Yes, we attract people that travel for leisure and vacation, but we also attract medical professionals like travel nurses and doctors, people that need stays for a couple of months. We also attract
Mhm.
people that maybe construction workers when they have a job to do outside of their home or their city. They all need short-term housing. I mean, people that are displaced out of their properties because, say, their house caught on fire or flooded, right? Or they're maybe need to get some work done on their property. Well, guess what? They still need to have a place to stay, and they want it furnished. So we fulfill a need that's very important, and that's never going to not be around. That's what I want you guys to understand. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. There's always a need for the properties that we have, right?
Sweet.
So the game has changed as we know it. It just truly has. But that's why we have to be extremely aware, right? So for those that don't know me, Kemoy Martin, like I said, born in Jamaica, raised in Brooklyn, New York, got a degree in biology. You know, after I graduated, things are falling. After I graduated, couldn't find a job for nothing, and I started working at Department of Social Services, making less than $30,000 a year.
Wow.
And
Mm.
read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, and Secrets to the Millionaire Mind. It was just like game over, right? That's why personal development is so important, so that way you can get exposed to so much more, right? And also make sense of like, okay, if you're not where you are, well, guess what? Things can change. Your current circumstances not dictate your future. You have to understand that things can change really quick. So I ended up quitting my job back in 2013. I haven't looked back ever since, right?
Good.
So, serial entrepreneur, real estate investor, traveled over 50 plus countries. I've spoken on stages, around the country teaching this business model. And I'm even getting flown out to Dubai next month to teach people how to make amazing cash flow in this whole short-term rental thing. So
Sweet.
it's a cool business, right? So let me ask you guys this, man. If time or money wasn't a problem, what would you guys do? So for me, traveling is really important. So for a lot of people, travel is just like a vacation thing. No, like travel is non-negotiable, right? Like, what are those things in your life that's non-negotiable?
Non-negotiable.
Like, whether it's like, man, I have to travel, like that's something I have to do, or like, man, I have these passion projects that I want to really launch, or I have a book that I really want to like write, and I need more freedom to be able to do that. I want to spend more time with my kids, right? I want to spend more time just my family in general. I want to pay down debt. Like, what are those things? Where are those non-negotiables in your life? And wherever those are, you need to have those like locked in your mind, so that way when you start, whether you want to start this or any business, you follow through and you don't give up, right? It's really, really important. See, I've done a lot of things right, not everything, but I just want to show you guys something. I took this screenshot probably like well over a year ago, because my business has grown since then. But like, how many of you guys would love to be able to make $40,000 a month, right, off of properties without owning it? Like think about that. Like, how many of you guys would love to be able to earn multiple five figures a month off of properties that you do not own?
Sweet.
Like, this is very possible. Like people are doing this, right? And it could be bigger than that. I'm just showing you like this is a thing. And the thing is, I've done a lot of things wrong, so I'm not like acting like I'm a perfect entrepreneur. I made a lot of mistakes. I wish I would have found out a business like this much sooner. After several years of doing this business, like, this is literally a hidden way to start with little to no money or debt. You can help overwhelm homeowners and realtors, right? That's like another hack within this industry. And you can start this business in less than one week. And that's why it's so beautiful too, because you can not only can you start this business fast, you can also scale it up fast, right? I have students, several students documented that have been able to get their first property in less than 1 week,
Wow.
because you can rent faster than you can buy. Nothing wrong with buying. There's a lot of advantages to buying real estate. The thing is, you can rent faster than you can buy. So you can rent pretty fast, right? So I discovered all this the hard way, y'all, but you guys literally get to cheat off my test paper and get the easy way, right? I had to graduate college, work full-time jobs, and dabble side hustles and juggle different businesses with no coaching. When I quit my job, I only had $10,000 in my bank account, and it was like literally all or nothing. But I'm gonna teach you guys literally the easy way to make money in real estate without having to buy and sell property, right? Like, in the past year, y'all, like, I've made multiple six figures hosting on Airbnb, and it's like, I didn't have to own a single piece of real estate. So just a quick disclaimer before I get into the meat and potatoes, results are not typical. And I got to share this because, sometimes people see opportunities and they automatically assume that, it's a lottery, right? And no business is a lottery. Yes, this is a very simple business, but you still have to do something. You feel me, Chris? Like you have to do something.
Yep.
And
Gotta work. Put
you
the
got to
work
work,
in.
right? But the thing is, it's not necessarily working hard for an extended period of time. It's really working smart, right? I'm going to walk through specific steps of mine that are making myself and my students passive monthly income right now, right? Not like just last year, right now. And my results are not typical because the average person that attends this training or just this whole session with me and Chris is probably not going to follow. There's only going to be a small percentage of individuals that actually take action, right? Because it's Chris's group, maybe it's going to be a lot higher.
I agree. That's right.
Okay,
Winners, man. It's just
okay,
winners. Yeah,
it's
I
going to
just
be a
want
lot
to surround
higher.
myself with winners.
But outside of environments like this, typically in the masses, I know you guys are not the masses. Like if you go into a group of people, typically most people don't take action. There's always that small few. But what I'll tell you is if you have that desire to win and level up and enhance your finances, right? Highly encourage you to take action.
Kemoy, let me reintroduce you to people because people are coming off and on. We got 50 people on here now. Round up, homies. Thank you for hanging out with me on my Black Friday block party. We've got Kemoy Martin here going over his system, how he does short-term rentals, Airbnb, and the like, and he doesn't even buy them. I do this myself too, but I'm not a master at it, right? I rent out. I have several of them, but this dude's doing it on steroids. So I don't want to teach it. I want to bring in the people that are actually doing it firsthand. And we got some goodies for you for the Black Friday block party. Make sure you stay to the end. Kemoy Martin, thank you, brother.
For sure, for sure. My pleasure, brother. Appreciate you. But I'm going to show you guys working for me and my friends, right? This isn't for people that are looking for a get rich quick scheme or too lazy to complete simple steps. Again, emphasis on the simple steps because it is simple. So here are 3 secrets I'm going to share with you guys. Secret number 1, how to make 6+ figures working less than 6 hours a week without going into debt. You guys love to be able to do that. Also, how to easily find profitable properties for your short-term rental business for free. Also, you guys are going to learn how to convince landlords and profit managers to let you use their properties for your Airbnb and short-term rental business. Okay. So here's secret number 1, y'all. How can we make 6+ figures working less than 6 hours a week? I know for me, I used to think making more money, meaning you had to work more, right? Like that's not necessarily true. So it all started with Airbnb. And here's what I want to share with you guys. When you guys start getting these properties, I highly encourage you go multi-platform. What does that mean? Don't just put your properties on Airbnb. Let's also put it on other platforms like VRBO, Booking.com. Even utilize a platform called PeerSpace, which is really cool because that platform is more so for people that they're looking to book a place for like photo shoots and like they want to record a podcast or they want to maybe record a short film. It's like typically creatives, and they're not going to spend the night. They're just booking by the hour. So it's like you can kind of double dip, create the hourly bookings during the day with PeerSpace, and then have somebody stay the night with Airbnb. It's pretty cool. But either way, I encourage you to go multi-platform, especially if you have this space that could be so many. There's multi-purpose, multi-use to this property, right? So, and also you get more eyeballs on your property, so you get booked up more. Okay. So I was moving into a brand new apartment many years ago, and I was excited because it was like a level up in my life. And after I got it all decked out and nice, I invited some friends over to show off my work, right? And as I'm giving my friends a tour, one of my friends, she says, "Hey, this would be a really cool place for an Airbnb." And at that time, I honestly wasn't really thinking about Airbnb. I was just more excited about my new place. My friend saw something, and about a week or two goes by, and my friend lets me know that, hey, I got a property down the hall, and I'm furnishing it right now for Airbnb. And I was like, man, she was not playing, right?
Oh.
She did not buy it, y'all. She literally rented an apartment. Now, again, I want to make a disclaimer. There's a wrong way to do this business, and there's a right way to do this business. I've done both, but the wrong way is pretty much renting out a property, acting like you're going to live in it, and then putting it on Airbnb and other platforms. And the right way is actually getting permission from landlords and profit managers so they know what you're doing. So like I said, I've done both, but when I didn't get permission, I got kicked out of places, and it's not really a long-term business. So when I teach this business, I come from a place of doing it the right way because I don't want anybody to have to experience doing it the wrong way. So I want you guys to just keep that.
Gotcha.
So Very, very key. Okay. So yeah, she said she shares with me that she just listed her, she got a property, she was furnishing it, it was up and running in about a day or two, really quick, whole process. After a month, she shares with me that she made over 1,500 in profit after her first month. And I was like, okay, month after month after month after that, her profits were steadily growing. And I had a shift. And here's my shift because, and even Chris said something a little earlier about like, a lot of times people think that, just being, just renting out your property on a 12-month lease to a long-term tenant is kind of like the best way to go. And the thing is, as I was doing my research, because I was thinking about becoming, a traditional landlord, buying a house, renting it out. And what I found out was statistically, right, a single door rental property, right, yields about $300 to $500 a month in positive cash flow, right? Chris, would you say it's like somewhere around that?
Yeah, starting out with debt and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So as I was evaluating that, not necessarily a bad thing, cash flow, positive cash flow is positive cash flow, right? And of course, there's other benefits. I was kind of thinking about that, but then my friend, she didn't have to buy the property; she rented it, furnished it, and then was able to be in like create in first month, 1,500 profit, and her profits were steadily growing. And I think like the rent was like $1,200, $1,300 a month, and the deposit, I want to
Mm.
say it was maybe like around like $500 or $600, and then she just furnished it, right? And the thing is, y'all, like she had a business up and running. So the fact is, how long did it take her to get that property? Like matter of
Quick.
like a week or two, right? But when it comes to purchasing a property, they say statistically it takes about 6 months, right? To purchase, right? From like actually finding a deal and then purchasing and closing. Right.
More
So
than
it's
that.
like, huh?
Yeah, more than that, man. I mean, it takes time. Some people take 2 years to get it. You never know how long it's gonna take.
100%, 100%, right? So it's just like, wow, like this can happen, pretty quickly. So here's my thoughts though, right? Because what I was thinking was, okay, if you get a property, now what? Because I had these questions because I was interested now, but I had these questions, and man, I want you guys to really pay attention to these questions because the first question that I had was, let's just say I get a property and I get somebody that books it. Do I have to meet every single guest that books the property? Like, do I have to meet them with a key or something? And what I found out was no, I don't, because I can create a self check-in system. What do I mean by self check-in system? Well, essentially, I can have somebody check into the property without me physically being there. They can check in themselves. So how can we do that? Well, let's just say it's a house, right? And on the front door of the house, right, there's a regular lock, right? Key to open up the lock. Well, you can change that lock to a digital keypad. So it's like instead of requiring a key, they can just key in some numbers. And on Airbnb, when you list the property, you can also list step-by-step check instructions. So it automatically automates the keyword, will get sent to the guest's email on the morning of the reservation. Another thing that you could do, let's just say it's a property where it's just multiple units, right? Maybe it's an apartment of some sort. Well, and there's a requirement for, it's not just as easy as keying in some buttons, and maybe there's some keys and key fobs needed. Well, you can have a lockbox outside the property and put all the necessary keys and key fobs, right? And again, whatever the code is for the lockbox and wherever the location for the lockbox is, you can list that on the check-in so that way they automatically get it.
Mm.
Another thing that you can do is have a key exchange. And what a key exchange is, this is where local businesses will allow you to pay them a small monthly fee. And you can put your key there so that way guests can pick it up and drop it off at that location. Key exchange. But
Wow.
needless to say, these are different methods of guests being able to check into your property without you physically being there. Perfect. I don't have to meet guests.
Mm-hmm.
The next question I had was, do I have to clean properties? Because I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I first got started, I made this huge mistake of cleaning my own properties. And what I'll encourage you guys to do is to not clean your own properties, right? Don't be cheap.
That's a
And the
must.
cool thing is this: when you list a property on Airbnb and these other platforms, you can set a cleaning fee. So guests are the ones that actually pay your cleaning fee, right? So, and I actually charge double. So if I pay my cleaners $50 a cleaning, I'm actually going to charge $100 for the cleaning fee, so I can make a profit on the cleaning fee, right?
Mm.
And yeah, and the cool thing is there's actually cleaners that specialize in cleaning Airbnbs and short-term rentals. So I can outsource that component. Perfect. A next question I had was, do I have to fix anything? Because guess what? It's a property. There's things in there. There's couch, there's beds, there's TVs, there's just stuff. Things happen, right? If you're in the real estate business, things can happen. The cool thing is when you rent properties, typically the landlord or property manager will have like a maintenance team, and they'll kind of like fix the bigger stuff, right? That's the beautiful thing about this. But the thing is, they're not going to come like fix the bed or the sofa if that messes up, right? They're not going to fix furniture or the small stuff. But the cool thing is this: you can actually have a handyman be on your team, and you can actually you don't have to pay them salary. You can just pay them, per job, and you can find a rate that makes sense. But essentially, what I would always encourage you to do is have somebody boots on the ground. So that way, whether you live by the property, you live in another state, another city, another country, you have somebody else that can handle all these different things. Somebody that understands the assignment. So that's what I do. I have properties that are like nowhere near me, and like I never physically go to these properties because I have somebody else that does it. Boom. So you can outsource that, right? Also, too, the thing was for me, I was like, when you start having these bookings and guests having these inquiries, they have these questions, or sometimes they'll have problems. What I wanted to do was I wanted to get to a place where I no longer talk to guests, and I no longer talk to guests. How do I do that? Well, you can have some type of virtual property management team, or you can have virtual assistants that talk to your guests. Right? They can talk to your guests. They can communicate with the cleaners. They can communicate with the handyman. Everything. You can have somebody that does that virtually.
Wow.
And literally, guys, I have virtual assistants that do that, right? Virtual assistants are not that expensive. You can find virtual assistants at onlinejobs.ph and other places, right? But either way, 24/7, 365, I have other people talking to my guests. It doesn't matter if it's 3 in the morning, 3 p.m., does not matter. I can literally be on a beach sipping Mai Tais, not even having to think or even like worry about what's going on in my Airbnb business. I just got to see profits and losses on a weekly basis, and we moving and shaking, right?
I love it. I love it.
So the thing is, what you guys got to think about is this: if you have all those components set up into the business, right? From the self-check-in, the cleaner, the handyman, even the virtual assistants running the communication, how many hours a week are you really putting into your business?
I think a lot of us, including myself, kind of, we don't even know what work is. Kemoy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like because we come from this 9 to 5 mentality, like clock in, I'm at work. I just think, so help us, help my people. So right, it's a mindset.
Yeah, 100%. The answer is not much, right? Less than 6 hours if you have these different, roles fulfilled. So let's just say, I'm going to be very conservative. Let's just say each property is making about $1,500 in profit. Now you can make way more, but I'm just being conservative here. How many of these properties would you need to have that's making $1,500 in profit to create a six-figure income? To create a six-figure income, it's about $8,333 a month, right? Well, you guys do the math. That's about like 6 or so properties, okay? And you got that, and you're at that six-figure income point. Now, let's just say you have a self-check-in for one property. Can you have a self-check-in system for 6 properties? Absolutely. If you have a cleaner for one property, can you have a cleaner for 6 properties? Absolutely. If you have a handyman for one property, can you have a handyman for 6 properties? 1,000%. If you have virtual assistant for 1, can you have virtual assistant for 6? Yes.
Wow.
So this is literally how you can create a six-figure income working less than 6 hours a week.
Kemoy, it sounds like you got a lot of mindset things that are different here, man. I don't know if this is necessarily a fact of can it be done, or I just think that what you're saying is rewiring what I'm thinking. Like I did it once,
Yeah,
I could do it again.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, for sure. And the thing is, anybody can do this, right? But I just want people to really understand and be clear. Like this is literally how you can create, a high level of cash flow with a minimum amount of effort and with a minimum amount of time. Okay. So boom, that's the first one, right?
Okay.
First secret. Second one, how to easily find these properties. Where do you find these properties for your short-term rental business? Boom, by utilizing sites just like this. Because like I said, the same way that you would try to look for a property that you'd want to rent out to personally live is a kind of a similar way in which you would find a property that you'd want to rent for your short-term rental business. Only difference is we're actually getting permission and we're actually not the one living in there, right? We're getting permission to rent out for our business. So sites like Zillow and Craigslist and HotPads and Facebook Marketplace and truly, there's so much more, right? But how much does it cost to utilize these properties? It is
Zero.
absolutely free. And let me give you guys a hack. Let's just say let's just say you wanted to find a property that was already furnished, right? Because you just want to move things along just a lot faster. Well, what you could do is this. With a lot of these websites, there's typically some type of filter or keyword box. And if you were to go to, say, Zillow and go to the filter keyword box and put in the word furnished, what's going to happen is when you go to search, any furnished properties available in the marketplace is going to show up just like that. Okay.
Mm.
And I've literally had a bunch of students that, their first property was already furnished, right? You don't have to find a property that's already furnished, but again, this is just a quick play that you can run. Okay. Boom. Secret number 3: how to convince landlords or property managers to let you use these properties, right? So I want you guys to tell me what you guys see on the screen, right? Chances are you see somebody that's stressed out, right? Just looking broke, busted, and disgusted.
That was me doing regular rentals. Yeah,
100%. This is exactly what that is. This is a
Okay. How did I know?
This this is a landlord stressed out, right? And I want you guys to understand the key to negotiating and convincing landlords or property managers, understanding that we bring value, that we are an asset. Us as individuals that are interested in this whole Airbnb and short-term rental business, we are an asset. Okay. Here's what I mean. A lot of landlords out here are stressed out because, number one, they're dealing with bad tenants. They're dealing with tenants not paying rent, or they're just a little burnt out. There's so many different reasons. Okay. But
Repairs, all type of stuff.
here are I want you guys to really just pay attention to these things. You probably even write them down. These are 3 things in which landlords or property managers are looking for. And once you understand that they are looking for this, it is going to be easy for you to negotiate and convince. Okay. Number 1, they are looking for somebody, okay, that's going to be a good, consistent paying tenant. Why is that so important? You do understand that a lot of lands are dealing with tenants that are not good, nor are they consistent when it comes to paying rent. If you don't know, right, I'm pretty sure this group is either you're a landlord or you're close to someone as a landlord that has experienced that at some point in their career, right? Or go to the courthouse. Okay, like that is a thing. But the thing is, the reason why we're different in that sense is because, boom, we furnish these properties. We start listing on Airbnb and other sites. We have bookings this week. We have bookings next week, next month, next year, right? Do you think we're going to ruin a good thing and not pay rent every single month? No, we are financially incentivized to pay the rent every single month because we have these bookings and we're creating cash flow. Okay. And then also too, like a regular tenant, right? They're just not that financially incentivized to, because again, like they can just rent here and they can leave and go somewhere else. They're not pay rent.
Yep.
They're just not that financially incentivized. But us, we're a little different. We have more invested time and money. Okay. So we're going to be that good and consistent paying tenant. Me personally, I have all my rent payments on auto pay. I learned that from Bob Proctor. He said, listen, he said, focus. He said, if you could do this, he said, put all your bills on auto pay. So that way you can focus on income and not outcome. And like when I learned that, I just put all my rent payments on auto pay. And again, like landlords love me. I'm the most consistent paying tenant. Like I've been renting these same properties year after year after year after year, right? Which is another hack because again, landlords don't want to have to keep looking for new tenants, right? So we are that good, consistent paying tenant. That's number 1. Number 2, you're looking for somebody to take great care of their properties. Okay. Why is that so important? Do you know turnover is a landlord's greatest expense?
Yep.
Right. Have you guys ever heard of horror stories of like tenants moving out of a property or experienced a horror story of a tenant moving out of a property and them leaving a property looking absolutely horrendous and crazy?
Yep.
Yes, happens all the time, right? That is a headache for a landlord, right?
Yep.
So the thing is, how many guys have ever stayed in an Airbnb? I know for me, I've stayed at a bunch of Airbnbs. Like, and also too, if you've stayed in an Airbnb, like how many guys ever stayed at a really nice Airbnb? Like it was so nice, you just didn't want to leave. Right? Well, think about this. Us as Airbnb hosts and short-term rental entrepreneurs, right? We are literally, right, financially incentivized to keep a property in for sale condition. Why? We want 5-star reviews. We want guests to keep coming back, and we're actually running a business here. We have professional cleaners that are cleaning the property. If not, maybe if not weekly, a couple times a week. Also, too, there's host protection guarantees in place with Airbnb, so that way, if a guest stays at your property and damages anything, guys, let's just say a guest stayed at your property and damaged the bed, damaged the couch, damaged the rug, damaged the wall, TV, doesn't matter. Let's just say they damaged something. Do you know that all you have to do is either you or have your cleaners take pictures of these damages, upload it to the Airbnb Resolution Center, and literally Airbnb will reimburse you for these damages.
Wow.
So what does that do? That gives you peace of mind. And also, too, they literally help you maintain the look of your property, right? Because they're helping you replenish things that get damaged by a guest if it happens. So if you understand that, it's like, listen, like, for a landlord, what? You're gonna keep my place in for sale condition? Like, you're gonna get my place professionally cleaned? Like,
Hmm.
if the walls get scuffed up, you mean to tell me you can get reimbursed and then you could just, have your handyman repaint it because you're getting reimbursed? Like, do you think this happens with a tenant? Are tenants getting their place professionally cleaned? Absolutely not. Probably a very, very, very few. A very little amount of tenants that actually do that, right? But the most do not professionally clean their place on a consistent basis. They just
Yeah.
do not. So if you were to really think about it, right? Like, if you were a landlord and if you really understand these dynamics, who would you rather rent your property out to? Someone that was in the Airbnb and short-term rental business, knowing that they're going to professionally clean their property, they're going to keep a place in for sale condition, and obviously if they're making money with the property month after month, do you think that they're going to probably want to renew the lease year after year, or maybe even get an extended lease? Would you rather go with
Yeah.
that person,
No
or
brainer.
would you rather go with a regular tenant?
No brainer.
Exactly. I know for me, I know most of you guys probably saying, "Oh, I'd rather go to my Airbnb business." Exactly, exactly. And this is, we have value, and that's why, I remember the first time I had negotiated, getting a lease with an apartment, and they understood the business that I was doing, and they was like, "Okay, we'll give you a shot. We'll give you one unit." And he let me get one unit. And I was taking great care of the property. Periodically, when they had to do, like, building checks, like they had to check, you check on the different units for different reasons. They would look at my unit like, wow, this is like one of the best units in the building, and they'll see how great it is. And they're getting the rents on time. They're like, it's a little different than other tenants. And guess what? What started to happen was, when other tenants would move out, they would start to ask me, "Hey, Mr. Martin, do you want another unit?"
Mm.
Sure. And or if you're dealing with a landlord, typically, a lot of investors, if they have one, maybe they'll get more properties, or they know other investors, right? It's like, oh, we see how great you're doing. When they get more, they may just holler at you and ask you, "Do you want another one?" So it's like, when you do good business and you foster good relationships in this here industry, scaling up can happen really fast, right? There's so much opportunity out here. Okay. So I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, right?
Yeah, that's a good stuff. Hold on, come on. Let me introduce you. We've been on here for 40 minutes already.
For
We
sure.
got 60 people on here. Brown Deb, we're here with Kemoy Martin sharing his secrets about mastering. Not only doing it like few like me, but this dude is mastered, right? That's what he does. Full time travels, and he's got this thing on autopilot, renting out to short term rental tenants, and you don't even have to own the property. So, Kemoy, thank you, my brother.
Absolutely. Don't even gotta own it.
That's sick to me.
Um, but yeah, guys. So the first thing was, they're looking for somebody like landlords and property managers. They're looking for somebody to be a good, consistent paying tenant. We just talked about that. Second thing is, they're looking for somebody to take great care of their property. We just talked about that. And the third thing is this: they're looking for somebody right now that embodies those things, right? Because for whatever reason, there are some landlords and property managers out here that have a house, that have, apartments or condos, and it's like they're looking for that model tenant, but they just can't find them. And what happens is, after a certain period of time, their place isn't getting rented out. What starts to happen? They start losing money at that point, right? Because assets make you money, liabilities cost you money. So they really want to get this place rented out. So here we are. We understand this business. We understand the value that we bring, and we're ready to rent these properties out right now. So we fit that, right?
Sweet.
And then we're in the game, guys. Are like, you just have to understand. Now, listen, I do have a script. I do have a script on exactly what to say to landlord and profit managers. How many of you guys would love to be able to have this script on, like, what to say landlords and profit managers?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I can't just give it to you guys because I got a bunch of students that would feel away. But I might have something at the end of this where so that pretty much a way for you guys to be able to get those resources that some of my students have. Because
Cool.
but even outside the script, just like everything I just shared with you guys, like there's so much power in that. There really is. Because once you kind of shift the mindset and you understand, that these people are really, they need somebody like us, or we bring value to what they offer. Like it's easy. It's easier getting these properties.
It's
And
so crazy how you say that. It's almost just like about, once again, mindset, like borrowing money. I mean, you don't go begging people; they give. You're creating an opportunity. It's all about how you frame it in your posture from how you approach the landlord.
yep, posture. That's it right there. Posture is everything in business, right? So 100%, man. So listen, man, we
Yeah.
find the property, right? We get permission from landlords or property managers. We furnish it, and then we list it on Airbnb. We list it on VRBO. We list it on Booking.com. We list it on Peerspace, and there's other sites. And then also too, if we want to, we can even tap into the midterm rental market, right? If we want to do like a hybrid model. What's a hybrid model? Well, the short term stays, right? Those are typically people booking your property from 1 day to 30 days, right? And then you have midterm rentals. These are people that book your property for 1 month to 12 months, right? And if you want, you can actually shift between the two,
Mm.
right? And man, there's just so much opportunity here for sure, right? And again, like I said, like you can work with travel nurses, medical professionals, people that are displaced out of their properties because of a fire, their house catching a fire, house flooded, people that are just, nomads. They just like to work remotely in different places, right? For different,
Mm.
and you can make money. So let me ask you guys this, man. Has it been time well spent so far, right? Like,
Yes.
like I know for me, like this has been amazing for me, and I know this information, right? Like, has this been valuable for you? Because the thing is, I hope you guys understand that I can't cover everything in like an hour, just session like this. Like even if we had all day, right? But for those that are really serious, that are really really serious, and they're like, man, listen, I like this business. I want to be able to make money without owning property. I want passive income. This business makes sense. Well, if you guys are in that kind of space, what I'm going to tell you is I have a special offer for you guys, right? Because Chris is my guy, and like I love everything that Chris does. I really do. I've been tapped in with him for years, and I love the amount of value that he brings, and also just like the people, the caliber and the people that he's surrounded by. So like if you're tapped in with Chris, and it's like I already know that you're somebody that's serious about business, you're serious about leveling up, and you're also a person that executes.
Yeah.
And because of that, like I want to pretty much give you guys like something special, a special offer for people that want to learn the step by step by step by steps when it comes to this business. People that want the scripts on what to say to landlords and property managers. People that are like, man, I want to know where I could find cleaners or I could find a handyman. I want to understand how to, when I list this property, how can I set my pricing the best way so that way, I'm attracting bookings consistently, right? What I need to put into the property, everything that you need to know when it comes to this business. I want you guys to be able to understand it. And I'm pretty much going to tell you guys is I have a program, and I have a step-by-step program that has all these different things so that way you can truly understand and learn how to build a massively successful short-term rental business without owning any property, right? So I'm gonna break down some of those details for you. But for a lot of people, right, like life is too good. And when I say that is, a lot of times when people like, when they're just good, they kind of lose that hunger. But I know you guys are here. You guys aren't just
Mm.
you guys haven't lost that zeal, that desire, right? You
Mm.
guys are still hungry for great. You ain't settled
Grinders.
for third, right? But you guys will be truly thrilled to know that you can quickly build a six-figure plus short-term rental business without owning any property, right? So here's what you guys are gonna get. You're gonna get my limitless B&B course. You're gonna get my how to pitch landlord scripts. You're gonna get my ultimate furnishing guide. So you're going to know exactly what to put inside the property, right? So you don't have to make all these extra back and forth runs to Target like I used to do. I'm telling you, I'm like, oh man, I forgot this. I forgot
I've
this.
been there.
Man, you're gonna get the whole business in a box blueprint. We also have a private Facebook group, right? Just the value already, like $9,000. But we're like, which the amount that you guys are gonna be able to get this program for, it's like ridiculously low, right? And also too, here's what I'm really excited about. There's gonna be some of you guys are gonna be able to get this program tonight, like literally without having to spend a dime out your pocket tonight. And I'm going to show you what that means, right? The special hint is OPM, but You guys don't want to miss what I'm going to break down, right? But who does this work for? This works for working professionals, blue collar employees, unemployed folks, stay at home parents. This works for all types of people, y'all. Why is that? Because you can do this business, remotely, so it becomes passive, right? And I had two choices when it came to this program. First choice was to go cheap as possible just to try to sell it, but the thing is, I wouldn't have been incentivized to really stack the value. The second choice is to require just a little higher investment, but in exchange, you guys are going to get more resources to literally guarantee your success, right? And that's, I don't know about you guys, but as a person like myself, where I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into my mindset and my personal
Me
development,
too.
I would rather somebody kind of like, give me the resources and I'll pay a little bit more for that rather than just like going cheap, right? So I want to share with you guys a couple of, just a couple of students that went through my program. You got Dominique out of Baltimore, and Dominique is a single mom of two. She used to work for Department of Social Security, emphasize on used to, um, because she had, ended up getting her first property, right? May, right? But the thing is, I want to say like by September, she was able to have 5 properties, and she was pretty much able to walk away from the Department of Social Security, right?
Wow.
She, her short-term rental business is rocking, and then she also launched other businesses. So like she took that cash flow and just started doing other things. So the thing is like, congrats to Dominique. It's just cool to watch somebody
That's
like
good.
her. I remember saying like, man, I want to do this. Like, man, I hate my job. Because some people say they hate their job, but they don't do anything about it. Right. And I want to make this disclaimer. You don't have to quit your job to do this. Right. This is what Dominique wanted to do. So she was able to do it. If you want to keep your job, you can actually keep your job and make amazing income doing this. Right. It's totally up to you. You got Nisi here, Nisi out of Tampa, Florida, also a mother as well, right? And she has a hair salon, makes great income with the hair salon. But the thing is, constantly on her feet, constantly working. And Nisi's a really big traveler, just like me. So she got her first property in a pretty fast period of time. And then literally within 2 months, she ended up getting 3 properties. So Nisi making
Yeah.
it happen on Tampa, Florida. You got my good friends Lanice and Justin out of the DMV area. And we've done other businesses together, and they were just kind of watching me from afar. And when they saw me doing this whole short-term rental thing, they were like, "Man, send us your course, right?" Like, and they got my program. And the thing is, they could have been like, and sometimes, when you see a friend doing something, that you kind of feel like, oh, I could just get it, right? But they were really willing to invest in themselves, but not just invest in themselves to get my program, but they also took action, right? And I also gave them a hack, right? And what do I mean by hack is I taught them how to list their property without even having the property finished. So by the time they actually finished, pretty much had the property up and running, and they launched a listing, like they already had like 8 bookings.
People waiting.
Yeah, they already had bookings. They already had bookings before the property was even done.
I love it.
So yeah, right. So like, and you can do this as a power couple, right? Like Bonnie suggested, which is pretty cool. I love to see it, right? So
Okay.
it's a cool business, right? So shout out to Lanice and Justin. So boom, I'm gonna share with you guys again what you guys are gonna get in my program. You're gonna get my course, you're gonna get my how to pitch landlord scripts, my ultimate furnishing guide, business in the box blueprint, private Facebook group, how to find cleaners, all this stuff, right? Step-by-step system and blueprint on how to build this at a high level, right? And I'm gonna throwing you guys a bonus. Okay. What does this bonus consist of? So I'm gonna give you guys a mastermind session. What does that even mean? So not only are you going to get this program, the course, the scripts, and everything, and be able to learn all on your own, I understand the value of, when you get information, sometimes you may need help, you may need assistance. You would love to be able to, hear from the person that's teaching the information. And I understand there's value in that. So what I want to do is I want to create a virtual mastermind session. Literally, you'll have the opportunity to be able to talk to me and learn from me in real time. So that way you can go through your learning curve faster when it comes to this business. And
Mhm.
you'll literally get all your questions answered. And we're going to be able to create a plan on how to really, really rock this business, especially going into 2023. Like how many of you guys truly want to make 2000? There's still time in 2022, but like really and truly, 2023 already started.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah. If you ain't thinking about 2023 now, man, you're
Yeah,
behind the curve.
you're a little
Right.
behind the curve, right? Like how many guys in your heart of hearts know that, man, you really want to make like 2023 like a year that you've never had before. Like you know that you want to stop playing around, you really want to create passive income, like for real, for real. And if that's you, well, this mastermind session is going to be extremely helpful, right?
This for my people only, y'all. This is
Yeah,
for people coming in through the Round Up fam. So you're
yeah.
not getting it anywhere else. This matter of fact, I beat the guy up to give it to you.
Yeah, because I'm be honest with you, this isn't something that I typically do because I do have other coaching programs where people learn how to actually, they get more proximity, but that costs money, right? So this mastermind session is not cheap, but literally you're gonna get this free. Okay, you're gonna get this free. Again, because Chris is my guy, and I have a lot of respect for what he does. I love what he does, and also I know the people that's connected with him. They're not tire kickers. Like you guys are
Mhm.
actually like about your business. Okay. So you guys can get that mastermind session. Also, you're gonna have the opportunity to partner with my company. What does that mean? What does that look like? Right. And again, I don't just give this to everybody. I really don't. Right. But I'm gonna break down what this means. So let's just say you find the property and it doesn't meet your criteria, and you want to refer to me. And let's just say it meets my criteria. Well, I'll rent the property out, I'll furnish it, I'll list it on Airbnb and other platforms. And just because you referred it to me, I will share a percentage of the profits with you. That
Wait,
and all you did was literally refer. And obviously, before I even sign a lease or do any of that, we'll actually, confirm the terms and the things of that nature, so we're all on the same page. But again, like I don't do this with everybody. I don't.
wow, that's sweet.
But this is another bonus that you guys will get. So think about this, right? Like you get in the course, you get in the scripts, you get in the furnishing guide, the business in the box blueprint, the mastermind session, like the ability to partner my company, like all this value, $12,000 worth of value. It's not going to cost nowhere near that. But if you really were to think like, man, like how much would all that cost? Like it, it's ridiculous, like how much value is on the table, right? But I really want to see people in. And think about this, right? If all this did was get you a few properties and you were making $5,000 in passive income, would that be worth it?
Oh my goodness.
Or if you got one,
One property. What do you mean? Kemoy? I'm like, I remember when I first, my 2 bedroom made me, I mean, we made like 4 grand a month on a 2 bedroom.
yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, I want to be really
Yeah,
conservative.
you're right. You're
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Let's
So,
stay
like,
there. Let's stay
yeah,
there.
because the thing is, like for sure, we can make way more than this, but I like to be
You
conservative.
are doing, you're right.
And again, I'm just
100%.
all across the board. But I'm just saying, it could be a studio, it could be a one bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, but think about it, if you just had one property, right, making it just 1,000 of passive income, would it be worth
I'm
it,
just
right?
like, yeah,
Yeah,
one.
I got students that's making over 10 grand a month on a property, right? It's like it just depends how you do this, right? With the type of property, where you are, but again, I just want to be really conservative, right? But just think about like, would this amount of cash flow make a difference to you? And again, we're talking about passive money coming in your sleep, money that you don't have to go somewhere to pretty much to make, right?
I
This is
love
my
it.
passive, right? What if this gave you just access to my company? Would it be worth it, right? What is passive income truly worth to you guys, right? Like whether it's 1,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 25,000 a month, right? Like how much would you guys truly invest to be able to have a six-figure plus business that only required less than 6 hours per week? Like for real. Like I know how much I spent on college, and college,
Get your money back.
fortunately, I didn't get put in the position to make six figures from my degree. I just didn't.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until entrepreneurship where I was able to learn how to make millions of dollars. But the thing is, it's like, what would you guys trade to be able to have a six-figure plus business that required you, 6 hours work per week, like all day long? I know for me, like what I would do to be able to get that, right?
Yeah.
And you can see why if I was to charge $12,000 for this, like it would be worth it. It would make sense, right? But the reason why I'm going to make this extremely affordable is because the unemployment rate is through the roof, and there's a huge need for information, right? Because the right information can change situations. Okay. And if I was to charge $5,000 for this program, it would be a great deal, right? But here's the deal: the general public price, okay, is $19.97. But what I'm going to do is, because number one, Chris is my guy, and I want to make sure that you guys I want to make sure that you guys really get the best opportunity to really tap into this, right? And also too, it is like a Black Friday, thing
That's
that's
right.
So it's like I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to really get this like at a price so low, but with so much value that's like this is gonna benefit you way more than it would benefit me. Right? Just give me the testimonial. Just make sure that you guys share your success story with me. That's all I ask for. Right? So here's what we're gonna do, y'all. Right? You guys can literally get the program tonight with everything that I just shared with you guys for only $797.
Sweet, sweet.
Like you're not gonna be able to do this like for another time. Like you're gonna have this short window of like this Black Friday sale period. But the thing is like outside of that, you're not gonna be able to get access to this for that low again. It just won't happen. And Chris is gonna yeah he'll drop the details. You're gonna drop the details, right, bro?
Yeah, if you go to the yes, I didn't know when it. To be honest with you, I've been going back and forth with them, trying to get them. Y'all, these dudes, they don't have to do this. I promise you. The guy, I mean, I got tons of people come on here. They don't have to do this stuff, right? So the links in the video description. Get rocking and rolling. And it's I don't know what discount is it on there.
Yeah.
So right there, go in the video description below. Round up, get rocking and rolling. He's giving me this one time. It's gonna change. You got. It's a Black Friday thing right now. Don't even think about it. I know, Kemoy, when I go to training now, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna spend it. I don't even think about it because I know if I think about it, I won't do it.
Yeah. Success loves speed. That's what I learned.
You're right.
And the thing is, y'all, you have two choices, right? Like the first choice is to do nothing, right? And not take this leap of faith, which I really don't think is a leap of faith, right? Leap of faith. But the thing is, it's like somebody tell me like what happens when you do nothing? Like I know for me, like when I do nothing, the type of results I get, like nothing changes when I do nothing.
That's right.
Right? And the second choice is right, pony up the small investment today in comparison to all the value that you get in return. Like it's worth giving it a shot, 1,000%. Right? Just getting one property, and it's like cash flow, passive income. See, there's other opportunities out here, y'all, that can get you, a check, but this can get you passive monthly income. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap up in a second, but like I just want to talk about the tale of two people because I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 9 years, and I've had my ups, I've had my downs, and I thank God for every single experience that I've went through to get to the point where I'm at now, and like I'm for extremely blessed. But the thing is, I have a lot of close friends and even family that start to become entrepreneurs, and some follow through with it, and some are just they never really start, not really, they didn't really follow through. But what I say that to say is, I start to see a difference maker. The person to the left is the type of person that just never invests in themselves, right? Like this is somebody that they try to always figure out things for themselves. And it's not terrible, it's not terrible, but the thing is, it's like what I've learned and what I wish I would have done much sooner, I wish I would have invested in myself much sooner. Because the reason why investing in yourself is so key, the reason why I pay for it, the reason why I have coaches, the reason why I have mentors, the reason why I go to seminars and conferences and masterminds is because I understand the more I invest into me, the better results that I get. My mentor told me several years ago, he said, Kemoy, when you empty your wallet into your mind will fill up your wallet.
That's right.
And at first I didn't really understand that, but I was like, let me just kind of listen to him. Let me just start investing more into me. And it was like, wow, the more income I literally start to make, I started becoming more wise. I started being able to execute on different opportunities and increase my cash flow and have more assets. Like it was crazy. But also the coolest thing is this: when you learn from somebody, it's not just about like the, new information, but it's also learning about all the mistakes that they made and the failures that they made to get to where they got to, and being able to avoid those mistakes. And that, my friends, is priceless.
Priceless, yeah.
Because you can save years and years and years of heartache and failure and money lost and get to success faster. And that's why it's so important to invest in yourself. And that's why I invest in myself, right? Like I'm a part of masterminds that cost $50,000 to join, right? But to some person, they're like $50,000. But again, if that $50,000 helps you make, hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, is like,
It's worth it.
what's the $50,000? Just
Nothing.
drop in a bucket.
It's so weird how you look at it as you get older and you look back. You look back how much time you wasted. Well, not you,
Right,
me. I
right,
wasted
right.
trying to hold on to that. I was like, now I could just give a man a piece of paper and he can show me exactly. I mean, it's almost like it's like clear as day now, but I
Yeah.
think it takes a kind of get over that hurdle.
It's a shift. It's a mental shift for sure. But
Yeah.
that's truly the shortcut to success, right?
Piece of paper. Hey man, piece of paper. Let's go. I mean, obviously it's money, but
Yeah.
if I could give you something that I know what I'm getting back as opposed to taking all the bumps and bruises. So
Yep. Yep.
I
And
think it's just being men.
yeah, and it's really cool because in about a week a week or so, or maybe less, I got Limitless B&B 2.0 coming out, and everybody that gets my program today, and during this period, you're gonna be able to get access to that, right?
Sweet.
It's gonna be revamped on the back end on the website, but yeah.
So the Black Friday block party is right here, y'all. Go to the video description. As you got 1 week to get in this thing, get into it now so you don't forget. So you can training and you're gonna get the free mastermind that he's gonna do with you for the first 20 people. Kemoy.
Yep.
Thank you, brother.
For sure.
So we got some questions, Kemoy. Can you please do those, or are you got time for that?
I could take a couple of questions.
Okay, I don't want to hold you up, man. I know you're busy, brother. Oh, what are we at? Okay, what am I doing? Get your questions in. Go to the video description below, y'all, to get started. What are we looking at here? Show me some. She's worried about shine unapologetically. Oh, that's a nice picture there. What about squatters? She's concerned about that. Come
So
on.
the cool thing is, as you're using Airbnb and these other platforms, like, you have proof, right? Like, you have proof in terms of what these individuals book and the services that they purchase, and that's honestly enough, like, information that you need in the event that you need to, like, call the cops or any type of law enforcement.
I'm presuming you have some secret ninja strategies to kind of snip out the people that are going to be questionable, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some things to look out for, some red flags.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you can cover that. Oh yeah, somebody wanted to know, Rose Garden, should he or she stay away from short-term rentals near a hotel?
So I like near hotels, and I'm gonna tell you why. Hotels invest a lot of money and time researching where they should put their hotels.
Mm,
So if you think about it, like, a Marriott's not just going to play the guest. They're not just going to be like, oh, let's just put a property here. No, they're literally researching the demand in the area. They're researching the traffic. They're researching the reason. And because of that, I like having properties near hotels because, again, there's a reason why they did it.
they've already done the research for you.
Already done.
Rose, I hope you with that. Keenan, Israel, personal credit. Does he need an LLC to get started? Kemoy.
So you do not need an LLC, right? You do not need an LLC. Would I recommend having a business or, like, some type of entity, right, outside of yourself? For sure, I would, but you do not need it, if that makes sense. Like, when I got into this business, I didn't have an LLC. I literally started on my name. But obviously, the more as I learned about business, like, if I could change anything, I would probably do it in my business. But the word need is, I just want to make that very clear. It's not like you need it, but I would recommend having a business.
Well, I think it's Kemoy. I think a lot of us don't take action until we have this business set up, and I just think, well, I want to ask you, the one doing it, does that hold people back? Like, I got to make sure I got the LLC and then.
Yeah, I do. That's actually a question that I probably get every type of presentation or meeting that I do. That is a very common question, and it's understandable. It's an understandable question, but it's not a need.
Gotcha. I wanted to tell you this. He's the expert, but I just want to just say, don't let not having your LLC hold you back, Kenan, from making money, dog. I've been flipping houses when I first started in my personal name like a dummy. I want you to get to the money first, right?
Right.
You can always clean that stuff up as you go, okay?
Right.
Would you say, come on, you're the expert.
For sure. 100. That's what I did.
Yeah, I just cleaned it up. I'm like,
And
shit.
here's the thing, right? So, like, I had a lease I had a lease under my personal name, like when I first got started, and the more I learned, when I came time to renew a lease, I had like renewed a lease under my business, right? Especially after building a relationship with that landlord or property.
No big deal.
Like,
No big deal. Did the landlord say they weren't going to do it? Did they say, I'm not going to let you go from your name to an LLC?
no, and here's a cool thing too. So like on Airbnb, like under the tax part, you can actually put your business there. So like your lease can be under your personal name, but you can get taxed under your business. So it's like,
Make
yeah.
sure you do it right. Oh, one of our Truth for You TV. Thank you for joining our channel. I appreciate you. You are one of the few members that helped me continue to bring on people like Kemoy. Truth for You TV. Thank you so much for joining our channel. Somebody said they wish they had this paid $1,000 for another course, Shady. Well, that's how it is, man.
All good. I wish you
It's
nothing
all good.
but success.
Yeah, much success. That's all we got, Kemoy. No more questions. Round it up. Get started in the video description for my Black Friday block party is here right now. This is it today. So we're bringing on guys. Kemoy, final thoughts for all my people ready to get started.
For sure, man. Congratulations on all the people that made the decision to get the program. Congratulations on those that made the decision to start their business and really invest in themselves and really learn this process, because you know that you don't want to have another year where you're not creating passive income, or you don't have a business, or you're just not taking the necessary steps to really break generational financial curses, right? Like, congratulations, step, right? But then no matter what decision you make, and I want to make this very clear, like, I don't need you guys to get the program. Like, it's not going to make a difference in my life. Like, it's going to do more for you than it's going to do for me.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, no matter what you do, like, make a decision.
Make a decision.
And what I say by that is, if you look at the word decide, right? "ide" at the end sounds like pesticide, genocide, right? The word the end of it, "ide," it stands for to kill off. And the thing is, when you make a decision, you need to kill off all excuses. And most people, they'll say they want to do something, they'll say they want to make more money, but they never really made the decision. So one thing I'm gonna encourage you guys to do, like, man, like, maybe today, maybe this week, maybe this month, maybe before the year's out, make a decision to go after everything that you know that you want, so that way you can truly start living life that you want.
I love it, man. Let me show this. Okay, round up. Listen, this is the start of my Black Friday block party. I got my man Jason Palliser coming on tomorrow, showing you how to find tax delinquent properties.
Nice.
The guy's amazing trainer. Tuesday, we got an Instagram mastery. So get signed up with Kemoy if you're interested. You need to get some more passive income. I know for me, passive income, this did not exist when I started in 04.
Right.
You could not, literally, I'm telling y'all, I've lived it. You could not do this in 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, you just couldn't do it, right? So I feel like it's so easy to do. It's simple to do, not easy. It's simple to do. People are like, yeah, because it's such a new concept, man. So
yeah,
hopefully they'll take advantage of it and change their lives. Kemoy, thank you, brother.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. See you soon. Round up. I'll holler at you guys later. See you tomorrow. Peace.